You want to be on top. How was that?
This is so good.
I don't
The
know.
smize was perfection.
You want to be on top. Hello, everyone. I'm very excited for this week's episode with the big doco that everyone's talking about, Reality Check, America's Next Top Model. I think that's what it's called on Netflix. It comes out this week. So I thought, let's do a Just the Gist of Tyra Banks.
Yes.
You know, not so much America's Next Top Model because obviously they're going to talk a lot about that in the doco. I've also recommended in the Gisna Club, our Patreon member club, in our Breaking News episodes that people should listen to the podcast Curse of America's Next Top Model, which is amazing, and also read the book, which I read last week in preparation for the doco, You Want to Be on Top by Sarah Hartshorn, who competed in the show and is like a comedian and a really good writer. It is such a good book. But yeah, so there's a lot about America's Next Top Model going around at the moment. But I thought, well, everyone's watching that doco, like they might just want to know more about Tyra Banks. And what I found when I started researching about this a few months ago, actually, because I've been interested in her, especially since I was listening to Curse of America's Next Top Model, is that she's had like a very interesting, like failed business history. So we're going to get...
Colour me surprised.
Yeah, we're going to get... This is sort of just the gist of Tyra Banks and her colourful, failed attempts at being an entrepreneur slash mogul slash ice cream icon. Joining me today is just the network producer, Hayley Stavely. Thank you for being here.
Hi, no problem.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
I'm really excited for this one. There's some really interesting random stuff in this episode about stuff that she's done. There was stuff that I didn't know about that she is the queen of, and I probably have written this word more in this episode than I ever have before. She is the queen of the pivot. Pivot.
Pivot.
Pivot.
It just makes me think of Friends.
Yeah, same. Pivot.
Pivot.
Tyra Banks she's like the queen of the pivot. When something isn't working, she pivots. And so we're going to chat all about that today. Thank you for joining us. This is Just the Gist, where we tell stories about everything and anything. I tell the stories. I'm Rosie Borderland, and regular episodes come out on Thursdays. We have minis on Wednesdays, and you can join our Patreon or Apple Premium subscription to hear our bonus episodes on Tuesdays. I'm never good at doing the professional part, and I did it. Yay! Okay, shall we get started?
You're getting so good. Yeah, let's
because
do it.
There's a lot to Miss Tyra Banks. She's more than just a pretty face. She's a smize face.
All of the algorithms are really pushing her at the moment with all the chat. Because
Are they?
My daughter wanted to watch Life Size.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And she was like, Mom, the girl looks like one of the twins from Parent Trap. And I was like, oh, which one? Which one does she look like?
Cute.
And she was like, I don't know, one of them.
Oh, my God, that's so funny. Lol.
It's such a lame movie as well.
God bless Tyra Banks, man. She's been through a journey, and it has ended in a weird place. But I think we'll get to it in the end. But I think she's on the cusp of her next planned pivot.
I can't wait to see.
Okay, here we go. So, born in 1973 in California, Tyra Banks has an older brother, about 5 years older than her. Her parents had, from what I could gather, like pretty just sort of middle-class jobs. Her mum was like a medical photographer. Her dad worked in sort of
medical
computer.
photographer?
I know. I was like,
What
oh,
is
wow.
that?
That's what I could find. So I don't... And this is just the gist, so I didn't go down that rabbit hole. Her dad did some computer stuff, but then I was like in 73, I don't know, it's just the gist. Yeah, her parents divorce when she's 6 and she grows up living with mostly her mum. She, like all models say, felt like an ugly duckling as a kid.
My legs were just too long.
Yeah, my legs were just too long. When models are always like, I got teased because I was so skinny. I'm like, okay.
Must be hard.
When she's 11, though, apparently she, like, in the space of 6 months, grows, like, a bunch of inches and loses, like, 30 pounds or, like, basically just shoots up, loses her puppy fat and starts looking a bit like model Tyra. She reaches the height she is now, which I think it was 5'11" that I saw when she's, like, a young, like, 13. In high school, another girl who does modeling tells her, like, oh, you could model. And she thinks about it. And when she's 15, she tries to get a modeling agent, but finds that in California where she lives, she gets rejected by most agencies because she says they all say to her she just doesn't have a look they can sell. Like, at the time, she's sort of not thin enough, but also, like, she's black, but she's not, like, black enough. Like, there's just all these things, like her butt's too big, but then other people say, well, it's not big enough to be plus size. She kind of just doesn't fit anywhere. And her mum is sort of like, you know what, F this, let's just go all in. They head to Paris for Fashion Week. And while they're over there, when she's it's 1991, so she's like 17 or 18. They obsess over her. They can't get over it. They love her in Europe. And at the first Paris Fashion Week she goes to, she gets cast in 25 shows, which is a record at the time.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's like she just, like, turns up and it becomes the hot thing of the season, basically.
That's like every girl's dream. I always thought, like, I'll just turn up somewhere and everyone will be like, oh, my God, I must cast you in my next 18 movies.
You're going to be a star, you know, that kind of thing.
Also, I guess medical photography must be pretty lucrative if you can just go, well, I'll just take you to Paris then. Like,
I don't know if it was, I think they kind of went all in, like some of those mothers who were like, let's just sell everything and
sell the house and
whatever, and off we go.
Take you on the road.
So from there, her career pretty much goes gangbusters. Like, it's just, it doesn't slow down from there modeling wise. She's, like, walking runways for all the big fashion houses, and she's doing photo shoots for all the big magazines. Like, she's in all the Vogues in all the countries and all the Harper's Bazaars and all that stuff. She's also doing a lot of commercial stuff because she does have that look. So, I mean, you know, she will do ads for, like, Pepsi and ads for, you know, that kind of thing. So she's becoming quite a recognizable face. And then in 1993, at age 20, she signs a major deal to become one of the faces of CoverGirl. She then goes on to be the first African-American woman to appear on the covers of GQ and the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition cover. And pretty much by the mid-90s, she's considered one of the few black models to have achieved supermodel status. So it's kind of like her and Naomi Campbell are the two. And, like, she started in about 1988-ish is when she started modeling. 1991 is when she went to Paris. And by the mid-90s, she's considered a supermodel. So it's like,
that's nuts.
It's a meteoric rise, as they say. In 1997, she gets named, this is prestigious, the VH1 Supermodel of the Year.
The only thing I know about VH1 is when Romy and Michelle, when they line up for the dating thing and they're like, try VH1.
Yeah, I guess.
So I just assume it's like a lame music channel?
I think it's not a lame channel. I think it's just more commercial. Like, it's not, you know how in modeling they always talk about the difference between, like, high fashion and commercial fashion? Yeah. And, like, she definitely did a lot of the high fashion stuff when she did the runway stuff. But when she started pivoting into the more lucrative stuff, she definitely she was doing more commercial deals. And that's why not only after getting named the Supermodel of the Year by VH1, that's the year also in 1997 that she is named a Victoria's Secret Angel, which is kind of like the epitome of, you know, the peak of high fashion modeling is like walking for, like, Yves Saint Laurent at Paris Fashion Week. The peak of commercial modeling is being, like, a Victoria's Secret angel in the parade. And she's kind of conquered both worlds, but then lands in the commercial world, which, to be honest, you end like the high fashion stuff is more for like models. You might not necessarily know a name like Shalom Harlow, but who is like a legendary high fashion model, but you know the names of people like Tyra Banks.
Yeah. Yeah, the high fashion ones are the ones that kind of weird looking people.
Angular,
and then
alien.
The commercial ones are like pretty.
Yeah, exactly. So she gets named a Victoria's Secret angel in 1997 and, you know, goes on to be pretty much her and Giselle Bundchen like the two like main angels for quite a while. But all of this is like she's 24. So this has all happened in 9 years. She starts modeling at around 15 and by the time she's 24 all of this has happened. So it's like
all those agents who rejected her initially would be like,
I know, damn. But I mean also as a model it seems like, oh my God, she's only 24. There must be so long to go. But like I want to say not so much now and only back then, but still even now, like at 24, she's reaching the end of her modeling like potential as far as the industry is concerned. Yes. So all the way through her modeling career and particularly at this stage where she's pivoted to this commercial stuff, she's 24, she's already having to think about things winding down modeling wise, but she has always all the way through been thinking about other aspirations and other stuff she can do. Like she is very savvy in that way. She looked to TV pretty early on. So in 1993, she had a recurring role on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as Will Smith's ex-girlfriend. Yeah. She's like from Philly and she comes and she's in she's actually very good. There are some clips of her where I'm like, she's good. She's funny. Like she's
really?
She's good in them. Yeah. And I saw an interview, I'm assuming it was like E.T. or one of those shows where they were interviewing, you know, like model Tyra Banks is filming this bit for Fresh Prince. And she talks already then about like, yeah, I'm really interested in TV. Like I'd love to get into acting, but what I'm most interested in is being behind the camera. Like I want to be the one making the things and making the decisions. So she was saying that even then when she was young. After she becomes a Victoria's Secret model in 97, she is like stratospheric huge. Like this is when she takes the small little acting roles that she's done on TV shows and that's when she does Life Size. Like so she stars in the Disney movie where it's essentially like Mannequin or A Mom for Christmas but with Tyra Banks.
With a Barbie instead of a...
Yeah, and Lindsay Lohan. And she does Coyote Ugly, which was like...
What was she in Coyote Ugly?
She's one of the bartenders.
Is she?
Girl, she's on the poster.
I have no memory of her being in Coyote Ugly whatsoever.
She doesn't... she's not... She has like one or two lines basically. she's one of the main bartender crew. She's on the poster, but she, outside of being pretty girl at bar, has no...
Yeah, and
character,
there are heaps of those.
No storyline. Like I remember later when she did America's Next Top Model being like, oh, she was that one in Coyote Ugly. Like because at this time she was model famous and a Victoria's Secret angel and stuff, but in Australia I don't think it had reached that far.
Yeah, like if you weren't into that whole...
Yeah, you wouldn't really know. So she does Coyote Ugly and then she also does Halloween Resurrection. I don't think though... You know, she's not a terrible actress, but she's not the greatest actress. And I think she knows that too. But also, like she said, her interest is more in just like being in TV production or film production or whatever. Like she just wants to, she knows she needs to pivot outside of modeling. And so by 2002, she's 29 and as a model, things are like kind of winding down for her. She sees that reality TV is a massive growing opportunity because she's, you know, done some acting, but she knows that's not her strength, but she can be in TV on more of the presenting non-scripted side of things. And, you know, American Idol has just become huge. Big Brother has just become huge. And so she comes up with this idea. She's like, let's do American Idol, but with models. And they also all live together, so we watch them like it's Big Brother or like The Real World, which was a huge show over there. And so she starts a production company called Bankable Productions, And she pitches the idea around, but she can't really get anyone interested, probably because she doesn't really have any production experience. And also it is quite a it's an innovative and new idea for the time. So I think it just was hard to pitch it. And probably she needed help in pitching it because she, hadn't been in those kinds of rooms before.
Yeah, that's what I reckon, because if you just said, oh, it's like American Idol but with models, you'd be like, yeah, but what do they do?
But what do you mean?
Yeah.
So she has a meeting with a guy called Ken Mock who he had a lot of executive producing experience in reality TV, but probably the most famous show he had done was Making the Band, which was essentially a show where they like
pop stars?
Yeah, like they found people, 5 people, usually 5 guys or 5 girls, put them together and tried to make them a famous band. They go into this a bit in Curse of America's Next Top Model, the podcast, but just to sort of talk about what kinds of people Ken Mock was willing to work with to make good TV. But apparently Making the Band initially had Lou Pearlman in it, he's the very dodgy guy who created Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and went on to have a lot of awful allegations against him. And then when Lou Pearlman went to prison, they put in Diddy. And so then Diddy became the person making the band. And he, probably the most famous band Diddy made from the show was called Danity Kane. And there are a lot of allegations against him in that whole situation too. So it's like, and Ken Mock.
It's all a rich tapestry.
Might have, there were crossovers of things that Ken Mock still worked with this guy. Just, it speaks to the willingness to, if there's money to be made and good TV to make, then who cares kind of attitude.
Yeah.
So Ken Mock meets with Tyra and he sees the potential in the idea. He's like, I can help you pitch this. We can get it made. And so it gets picked up for one season by what was to Tyra a small network. She wanted it to get on like a big like NBC or something, and she said she was in the rooms and she was pitching it hard and everyone kept saying no. They got picked up by a small network called UPN, which was a network that predominantly catered to like African American content at the time. Apparently she's quite disappointed, but she's like, whatever, they're giving us money to make it, let's go. The first season is like very much a ragtag operation. Like they are pulling it together with not a lot of resources. She like speaks about how, she was going in and like they were doing everything on deals, kind of like you see on MAFS now, like whatever hotel or like serviced accommodation they're staying in, you see the sign everywhere all the time because it's like all these contra deals. And she would go in, she's like, I was buying bedding the night before to make the bedding look nicer. And like there were she was getting people to work for free, like the photo shoots they would have, she'd just call a photographer friend and be like, please come on this show, and provide like her own clothes. She's like, just let them wear my clothes. Like it was all very thrown together.
Can you still access these episodes? The season 1?
Yeah, you can watch all of America's Next Top Model. Like I'm sure it's on a streamer. Most of the highlights are on like YouTube and stuff.
Have you watched it?
Like I watched it a bit when it was out because my best friend Antonia was obsessed with America's Next Top Model, so I like watched a bit as it was on, but I was never a huge fan. I've only really watched it in hindsight since people have been talking about it, and it's had this like resurgence in the last few years with people looking at it in a very different way. How about you?
Oh, yeah, I think we talked about this in Breaking News, but it just wasn't really very accessible back then. Like
here in Australia,
there was no, TikTok where you'd get clips of stuff and then hunt it down and you'd be able to find it. It was, it was like something that you maybe read about in a magazine or something, and then you'd be like, oh, that sounds cool.
And like if a show went gangbusters in the US, I think people who don't, like particularly Americans, don't understand what it is often still like here, but was like here for the longest time. It would take so long for us to get stuff here. So if something went gangbusters in the US, we might get it on TV like 6 months later or a year later. Like it was just
frustrating.
Movies for us would come out like 6 months later. It was so weird. And even now there's stuff that like I've been desperate to watch that new Chevy Chase documentary,
Oh,
the one
yeah,
where he's
me
like a real
too.
arsehole. Not licensed anywhere in Australia. Not here yet. Can't get it. Been out forever everywhere else. Like, it's frustrating. But the winner of the first season of America's Next Top Model was promised a contract with Wilhelmina Models, a photo spread in Marie Claire, and a contract with Revlon. Adrienne Curry, who won that first season, later said that she got none of those things. We're not going to go into heaps of detail about the show here because this is more about Tyra, but listen to Curse of America's Next Top Model. Read Hera Hartshorn's You Want to Be on Top book. Also, I think we got to do a book club on that book because I read it last week and it's so good.
All right.
The show is a hit. Like, Tyra called it. She knew. And it just exploded in this huge way. It was like of its moment. It was perfect timing. And, went on to have like a gazillion what they call cycle seasons. But when the show became a hit, that's where people say Tyra started to turn into a bit of a monster. Like, she says she started the show, and I do genuinely believe this because, like, she wanted to give opportunities to girls that, like, were not readily accessible to her when she started. Like, so many doors were closed in her face when she started. Like, and so she's like, I wanted to provide more diversity, and that included, like, sexuality, size, race, and the show was considered quite revolutionary in a lot of those ways. Like, in the first season, one of the contestants was an open lesbian who, like, was in a relationship and her partner came to visit her in the house. They had a trans woman on the show pretty early on. They started bringing in plus size, and I use that in, but like still plus size for models. They started bringing them in quite early. I mean, they were sort of making these huge strides in a lot of those ways. But again, it's a lot more complex and nuanced than that because when you watch the show, you can see how a lot of these people were treated. They were granted access to the show and given these opportunities, but it was kind of like as sort of circus freaks for ratings a lot of the time. So it was like a double-edged sword for a lot of these people. But, on the Curse of America's Next Top Model podcast, the host does interview some people who, like, say, you know what, I'm just grateful for the opportunity. It got me out there. It helped launch whatever they do now. Others say it was exploitative. I hate it. I wish I'd never done it. It's not like a blanket reaction from contestants across the board.
Did any names come out of it?
Like, as models?
Yeah.
The only one that people continuously mention who went on to become like a legitimate respected model, like in the modeling industry, which is what they promised, was Winnie Harlow, who is the model who has vitiligo, and she has like like really striking kind of, that's that condition where your skin gets discolored. So she's like a black woman, but she has these white patches all over her like face and body. And she was on one season of it, didn't win, left, actually says now in interviews like being on the show hindered her like potential to be a model. And all the people, including all the winners who've been on the show, say like as soon as you get out, nobody took you seriously, no agent wanted you, none of them want. It's kind of like someone used the analogy, it's like a porn actor trying to suddenly become a regular actor. They're just like, no, thank you. Like,
no, you're a fake model from a reality show.
Exactly. Yeah. And so Winnie Harlow said she had to like, not like, it took a few years for people to sort of even forget. She changed her name, came back, tried again, then became like Winnie Harlow the model. But no, she's pretty much the only one. So, it becomes clear quite quickly that the initial aim of the show, like the noble aim, seemed to get lost as Tyra got a taste for ratings and started leaning more into producing and understanding how the reality industry worked, which basically is the more people who watch, the more money for me if you're the producer. And how do you get more people to watch? You just increase the ridiculousness, the circus monkey freaks of it all, you make it a car crash. More of a car crash means more viewers, no matter the cost on the contestants who are sort of like in that car crash. Yeah. And Tyra gets huge at this time. Like, just the show is huge. She's the host of it. And what does every young hot woman with fame want to do in the early 2000s? She wants to be a pop singer. And I think people forget about this.
I definitely have forgotten about this.
This is one of her first, like, pivots. Like, the show works. She's hosting it. She's producing it. So she's making a lot of money. And she's like, I want to be a pop singer. And so she, in 2004, releases a song called Shake Your Body.
What?
And I'm going to play you a little bit of it now.
Oh, please do.
She has Shake Your Body, and it's very much it's clearly auto-dubbed or tuned. It sounds to me a lot like, no, I use dubbed or tuned because it sounds to me a lot like what we now know, who we now know is the singer that did J-Lo's music.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah, like J-Lo's music, a lot of her early songs were sung by this particular woman who's like come out and talked on TikTok about it all. Oh my God, I can't believe you don't know this. And
what?
This is like a total,
no?
We'll have to do a JTG mini on this. But like even like this woman, because J-Lo like quite infamously cannot sing, and this woman sung all the songs like for her to listen to so she could sing, but then often they just sounded so good that they would keep a lot of her audio in there, to the point where this woman was the one who in Jenny from the Block, she's when you hear her go, "'Cause I was from the Bronx," that's not even J-Lo, that's the woman. And the chorus of this, I'm like, that sounds a lot like that J-Lo woman who sung all of J-Lo's
When
songs.
is that woman going to write a book?
Well, she does TikToks. She talks so openly about it. Like, she talks a lot about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think, I don't know, whatever. She did this one song, but the point of it, the reason I'm bringing it up is she's very clever about cross-promotion. And so she does a video clip for this song that she's hoping, if it's popular, will become an album. And she uses America's Next Top Model as a way to cross-promote the song. So one of the photo challenges is all the girls have to be in her music video. So then, of course, the music video is on the show, and that like gets it out there, and she's hoping that will then like parlay into an album, but it's terrible. It doesn't. So she's like, okay, tried to be a pop star. Next thing, pivots. 2005, the next year, she pivots to her talk show. 2 years after America's Next Top Model launched, she starts the Tyra Banks Show, which is kind of perfect for her because she doesn't have to be talented in terms of like dancing or singing. She is very beautiful, telegenic, good for TV, and she's good talent in terms of presenting. She is. She's really good. And the show is this isn't like integrity Oprah towards the end. This is more tabloidy, like Ricki Lake kind of style. It's a bit stunty. It's a bit ridiculous. Probably the most famous clip a lot of people remember from the show, I certainly remember this the most, is when she put on a fat suit and went out into the world with hidden cameras to experience what it's like to be fat. And then just brave. Cried about how awful it was. It was also just really smart in terms of cross promotion with America's Next Top Model. Like, all the contestants would come on when they'd been like, eliminated, the winner. Anytime any of them were doing anything in life, they'd come on. Like, it was, she was very smart about it. It, was a popular talk show because she was willing to do some crazy stuff. She wins 2 daytime Emmys for most outstanding talk show at the time. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. And so this is where things are pretty great for Tyra for a few years. So America's Next Top Model is huge. It keeps getting more and more huge and ridiculous. The Tyra Banks Show is huge. And at one point in this sort of point between the Tyra Banks Show and America's Next Top Model both being on air in 2005 until it gets cancelled in 2010, across that 5 years, she starts becoming one of the most highest paid women in television. She's getting $20 million a year. Like, she's a huge deal at this time, like just a cultural moment where she is top of the heap. Not paying contestants, by the way,
She
at
wanted
this
to
time.
be on top.
And she
She
was.
did.
But nothing in TV lasts forever. Nobody's popularity in entertainment lasts forever. As Heidi Klum says on Project Runway, one day you're in, the next day you're out. So, like I said, the Tyra Banks show is cancelled in 2010. Like, it's crazy. That is how fleeting popularity is in Hollywood. She launches it in 2005. It's so popular she wins 2 Emmys and it's cancelled in 2010.
That's
it's
crazy.
Nuts.
And all of the franchises all over the world would have kind of buoyed her talk show a bit, or
it had been on since 2003 and even Top Model was flagging at this point too. Really? It had spread to a whole bunch of other places. I mean, Australia got our own version. Everyone remembers that crazy episode where they announced the wrong winner. It went all over everywhere. But it was already by this point flagging, having been on for 7 years. And times are changing. TV viewing is changing. The way they treated the models and were so brutal about the appearance stuff, that is all really changing as well. And so I think just the way people are watching the show, and also just by virtue of how long it had been on and this stuff sort of having a shelf life, it does start
losing
to flag.
its novelty. Yeah.
And, when the Tyra Banks show gets cancelled in 2010, it's also that thing of when Hollywood sees you as a failure, it starts to snowball a little. So that's not great either.
Yeah,
but
you get a bit of stink on you.
Yeah, you got a bit of stink on you. But, America's Next Top Model, it is still it's holding on. It's flagging, but it's holding on. But Tyra does see the writing on the wall. So a year after the Tyra Banks show is cancelled, in 2011, Tyra sees another chance to pivot. She decides, you know what train I'm going to jump on? The most popular train in the world right now, the YA fantasy novel train.
Oh, really?
Yes. So Twilight had been huge. Hunger Games had been huge. They were all kind of turning into billion-dollar movies, whatever, franchises. And so she's like, I'm going to do that. So she announces that she has signed a 3-book deal to write the Model Land series.
Did she even try?
Okay,
the Model Land series.
Let me read you the synopsis. I still don't understand what this means, but let me just read this to you.
Okay.
No one gets in without being asked. And with her untamable hair, large forehead, I wonder who that is, and gawky body, I love this, Tuki de la Creme isn't expecting an invitation.
What?
Model Land, the exclusive, mysterious place on top of the mountain, never dares to make an appearance in her dreams. But someone has plans for Tuki. Before she can blink her mismatched eyes, Tuki finds herself in the very place every girl in the world obsesses about, and 3 unlikely girls have joined her. Only 7 extraordinary young women become Intoxibellas each year. Famous. Stop. I can't. Ready? Famous, worshipped, magical. What happens to those who don't make it? Well, no one really speaks of that. Some things are better left unsaid. Thrown into a world where she doesn't seem to belong, Tuki glimpses a future that could be hers if she survives the beastly catwalk corridor and terrifying thigh-high boot camp.
Okay, I actually like that part.
Or could it? Dark rumors like silken threads swirl around the question of why Tuki and her new friends were selected, and the shadows around Model Land hide sinister secrets. Are you ready? Model Land is waiting for you.
Oh, no. That is like a sketch.
It is.
I can't believe that is real.
I mean, from
That is hilarious.
I've not read it. There's a lot of very funny YouTube videos at the time from people who attempted to read it. Apparently, it is kind of like Harry Potter. It's a boarding school. Model girls, beautiful girls, get selected to go to this model boarding school, but it turns out there's something supernatural going on, and girls who are the best get selected to become intoxibellas, which are
Intoxibellas is
kind of like model vampires or something.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Intoxibellas.
I mean, that's all you need to know.
That is like someone in year 8 thought was genius.
Oh, the lead character is called Tuki de la Creme.
Yeah. What even is that? Tuki de la Creme.
Anyway, I love it.
What?
It was.
Does she have a flavour called Tuki de la Creme in her hot ice cream shop?
Maybe. But it's written with a ghostwriter, which is crazy to me because even that synopsis was impossibly confusing. And I found the funniest clip. I could not stop laughing. Like at the time, she's obviously like doing a lot of press for this book, and she wants it to seem like she's, you know, what you may not have known about me is like people have always doubted because I'm pretty that like I'm smart, but I actually really love writing. And so she's doing this interview about how she's writing, and she says it's so funny. She's literally, there are just these shots of her in a huge library, like a massive kind of ornate library. Like they've gone to like a
Beauty and the
fancy
Beast
university
style.
or something. Yeah. She's in this huge library alone writing on her computer. And then it's like cut with quotes of her going, literally, this is the exact quote. A lot of people don't know that I've always had a passion to write. It started as a young girl. I think people don't really put enough emphasis on writing and how amazing writing is. And then that's just cut with shots of her sitting alone in a huge library. And I'm like, a library that you would have like cleared to shoot that shot, so you're preventing people from writing.
Doing actual, because there's a bit in Life Size when she gets like a job
and she's typing
at the computer, and then the lady like looks at the thing and it's just like gibberish.
Yeah, gibberish.
That was probably a real clip of her real life.
Seriously, that's what it was. It was, a lot of people don't know that I've always had a passion to write. It started as a young girl. I think people don't really put enough emphasis on writing and how amazing and empowering writing is. And that's like her doing an interview about how, surprise, I'm a brilliant novelist.
She thought she was Tara Moss.
Yeah. So,
what does that even mean? People don't put enough emphasis on writing. What does that even mean?
I mean, I think she means I haven't until I found out you could make a lot of money from it if your book sells really well, which hers does not. Even though it's a 3-book deal, only one ever comes out.
Okay, no, I'm reading this for sure.
It was obviously reviewed terribly and did not sell well. So then in 2012, after the attempt at writing a YA Twilight based in Model Land fails, Tyra enters her business bitch era, and she starts telling everyone that she graduated from Harvard. She did a 9-week management course that you can just pay to do. So now she has big plans for Model Land. She's like, you know what? Like the book didn't go on to be a trilogy, but I can still make it an empire. Like I can still turn this into a $1 billion movie franchise.
Like both people who read it might want to see the movie.
Who needs the books? Like writing's stupid. I don't care about writing. So,
I put too much emphasis on writing.
Yeah, I put too much emphasis on writing. So then she goes to her trusty old friend, cross promotion on America's Next Top Model. And she uses one of the photo challenges to essentially put together a sizzle reel for a possible Model Land movie. Like I guess she doesn't want to pay to make a sizzle reel herself. And for those who don't know, a sizzle reel is where you want to get producers or investors to pay you money to make the thing. So you put together like a 2 to 5 minute clip to sort of convince them this is what it will be amazing, give me money, and they give you money and you make it. So she uses America's Next Top Model to make a sizzle reel for the Model Land movie. And it's essentially this like challenge where all the contestants are playing different characters in Model Land. Tyra's in it too. Tyson Beckford's in it playing like the love interest, and they essentially put together a trailer for a Model Land movie.
Who got to play Tuki de la Creme?
So this is just a little clip. Like this was we're a minute and 10 seconds in, and this was the only part where I could find dialogue The rest of it was just shots of people like looking beautiful in the wilderness.
Oh, sounds like a compelling movie.
Okay, here we go.
Hi, Turkey.
Hi, Bravo.
I know. I don't know. Don't ask me to explain that.
I'm Laura. I'm Tuki. I'm Allison. I'm Tuki. I'm Lisa. I'm Tuki. I'm Angeline. I'm Tuki. I'm Tuki. I'm Tyra. And I'm Tuki.
And then it's just like
And then it goes weird Mad Max.
lots of things that happen
my
in the
gosh.
movie.
Again, it's like a sketch.
I know.
How did they look at that and go like, yes,
yeah.
this is good. This
Well,
is serious.
No one did because it didn't lead to the movie being made.
But clearly Tyra thought like,
Yeah,
this
and
is
what
going to
I
get
think-
people fired up.
What I think Tyra thought was, because she obviously got all of the girls to say they were Tukey to be like, you know, let's see who does the best Tukey. And then she puts herself in as Tukey because I think she's hoping not only will this scissor reel get the movie made, but they'll see that I'm meant to play Tukey.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's the only one who's, you know, made up like she's some sort of character.
I know. And she's the only
others
one
are
who does a
just-
scene with Tyson Beckford in which she inexplicably sucks on his thumb
and
or
like
whatever.
chomps on it.
I know. It's so – anyway. So
What a weird slice of reality.
yeah. So funnily enough, it doesn't lead to a Model Land movie.
Not so.
In 2015, a couple years later, America's Next Top Model is cancelled. It does limp to the finish line with a couple more we're revived, we're not cancelled, we're coming back seasons, but it's pretty much over at this point. She goes on to do some hosting of like Dancing with the Stars. She hosts America's Got Talent for a season, but TV just doesn't seem to be working for her anymore. She doesn't stay in those jobs. Most people assume it's because like she just wasn't like she was fired. She insists she was doing other things, but she's just not, you know, popular on television anymore. And so this is where Tyra pivots again. Pivot.
I need to learn how to pivot instead of spiral. I would have just
know.
spiraled into nowhere land
Mate.
at the first.
If I was making $20 million a year for a few years, I'd never, why do you need to pivot? Don't move to the beach and never work again.
Oh, no, but you'd be so bored, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, like just write stuff that you like. See, this is what my theory with Tyra is, the way she pivots like this. It never seems like what she's doing is because she has a passion or a love for what she's doing. It seems to me like her passion, the thing that she's striving for is like money. It's all just about
jumping on trends and fads and stuff.
Yeah, and the reason it's all trends and fads and other things is because she's like, what is the next thing I can do to make money or be successful, rather than what is something I'm passionate about and would love to do. Like, I feel like none of these things work because it seems like everything she's just focused on, like, making money, making a successful business.
Like, isn't that the whole point of earning heaps of money, is then you can just actually pour yourself into something that gets you excited and gets you up every morning?
If what gets you excited and gets you up every morning is, like, just making money or, like, appearing to be a successful businesswoman, like she's telling everyone she's graduated from Harvard, then, like, I don't know, like, then that's kind of a house of cards. Like, that's not based on anything real. Like, no wonder all these projects always fall apart. I mean, you know, we love to speculate wildly and psychoanalyze people. So this is when Tyra realizes that celebrity beauty brands are becoming hugely popular. So she launches Tyra Beauty. But I guess, like, graduating from Harvard means she knows how to run a business scam better than those other celebrities with beauty brands, because Tyra decides to launch Tyra Beauty as an MLM.
Oh my gosh, yes. I remember you said this.
Level marketing scheme. Now,
Outstanding.
the website for Tyra Beauty at the time said, My goal is to help you be the CEO of your life. You can start your own business by selling Tyra Beauty products. I am galvanizing a community of entrepreneurs called Beautytainers. Beautytainers, like entertainers.
Stop trying to portmanteau stuff, you bloody, what was it?
Intoxibellas. And they will sell products by throwing fierce parties at their homes and online. And like ads apparently at the time said, ready for an opportunity that combines beauty and business? Where you set the hours on your own terms? Join our crew of bona fide entrepreneurs. We call them Beautytainers, independent sales reps who make money through sharing the Tyra Beauty movement. Now, for those of you who don't know what an MLM is, they are technically legal, and I could do a whole Just the Gist episode on this. They're technically legal because the billionaire business people who own MLMs lobby like lawmakers to keep them legal, but they are essentially pyramid schemes. It's like, it's not so much about the product you sell, it's about recruiting other people to sell that product. So, you know, Tyra recruits people to sell the makeup. The makeup never sells. They buy the makeup from her, so she gets the money from that. And then the only way for them to really make money is to recruit other people to sell the makeup. They get a percentage of the makeup they sell, but then the people under them, the only way for them to get money is to recruit more people to sell. And like, so it's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah. MLMs, I know you know this about me, but they enrage me at a cellular level. I could go off about them for hours.
And they are almost exclusively aimed usually at like women and usually like people like stay-at-home mothers. MLMs are huge in the US in like Mormon communities because those are women who often aren't allowed to work, and this is considered like a hobby where you can make money. It's, you know, famous MLMs are like Avon or
Amway.
Amway.
Yeah.
I was about to say Amex. Amway. And so it's, you know, it's something that's aimed at women, making them think that they can earn a lot of money. They realize very quickly that earning the kinds of money that is that's promised to them is almost impossible. But the way these businesses are structured, it's like, if they say, well, you can earn as much money as hard as you're willing to work. So if it doesn't work for you, they're like, well, that's your fault, you know?
Yeah.
And it very rarely does. It works for a few people at the top. And there's also that crazy statistic of like, you know, when it comes to MLMs, the way those pyramid schemes like spread out, how long would it take before everybody in the world was recruited? It's like 6 months or something nuts. Like it's
13 levels.
Yeah, like it's impossible. There's just simply not enough people in the world to even keep you generating money. So they're crazy, but a lot of people join because they trust Tyra. Like Tyra's like, I'm launching a beauty brand, and I went to Harvard Business School, and so I now want to help other women become like successful businesswomen or beautytainers. And I found the best article. So at the time, a journalist called Kayleen Schaefer was working for The Cut, and she wrote an article at the time headlined, I made a whopping $27.75 selling Tyra Banks beauty products. And this piece, like, it gives such a good insight into how the MLM works. So I'm going to read you some quotes from it now.
That's pretty good. Most people lose money in MLM.
Yeah.
So she must have been very successful.
She might have, like, I'll read these quotes to you. It's so funny. So it says, she's like sort of telling you how it worked on the inside. Every new beautytainer is assigned to an established beautytainer's crew. My head beautytainer is named Leanne. She lives in New Hampshire and used to sell nutritional supplements, but then she saw an ad for Tyra Beauty and thought this sounded like more fun. The official history of Tyra Beauty says Banks started the company after going to Harvard Business School. She says she wanted to educate herself as much as she could to help her beautytainers rack up what she calls bank signs, and the S in that is a dollar sign.
A dollar sign, of course.
Banks doesn't have an MBA though. What she went through at Harvard was the school's non-degree granting course called the Owner-President Management Program for 9 weeks. And then she, the journalist interviews like a sort of expert in MLMs who says, critics say these kind of multi-level marketing businesses are little more than legal pyramid schemes. The problem with the kind of company where you can earn more by enlisting others than then by selling the products is that the money tends to go to the people at the top who are convincing others to join, not to those actually selling. Research published by critics of the direct sales industry found that up to 99% of reps don't earn any income at all. And so inside Tyra's beauty business, this journalist writes, to be an active beauty-tainer, I needed to sell $150 of products the first month or buy $150 in products myself that I can show potential buyers. The brand doesn't give free samples to start with. I also had to pay $59 to enroll. After I'd paid my fees and ordered the products Leanne suggested, the 6-minute tie-over kit, so like makeover but tie-over.
No.
Which included the Smize eyeshadow palette, the Stick With Me makeup setting spritz, the Oops eyeliner, and the Menage a Brow, I'd spent $231.30. But spending money was only temporary. If I sold $150 in products a month, I'd make 25% commission, which is only $37.50. But if I sold $500, I'd get an additional 5%. And if I hit $1,000, I'd get an additional 10%. I'd even make more if I enrolled another beauty-tainer, 3% of that person's sales. From there, the more you sell and recruit, the more bank signs with a dollar sign you get until you reach Diamond Beauty-tainer, the highest level, which comes with so many perks that it feels like Tyra's just blowing her entire top model fortune. I already felt rich. And then she says to Leanne, like, so how do I sell this? Like, I've bought this stuff. What do I do now? Leanne says, your friends are going to take your word more than someone else's. When you go to a great restaurant, you tell people they should go there, but you don't get anything from it. Direct selling is basically the same thing. You're sharing your love for the products and what they do, but you're also making money. Leanne tells me to make a list of all the friends and family I could possibly sell to. And so then this journalist, she sells a couple of things to her mum, which it's so funny. She's like, and then my mum obviously didn't like it and forgot that I'd sold it to her because she regifted it to me for Christmas. And then she says she tries to have a tie-over party and invites a couple of friends and they buy like 2 things. And so then, you know, in the end, she only makes $27.70 because the actual money is in recruiting others, and she didn't do that. She was just trying to sell the product, which is not actually what the business is, you know.
No, they are the customers.
Yeah. So that's, I'll put the link in the show notes to that article, which, just gives a really good insight into how it actually worked.
Every time you were saying beauty-tainer, I was not thinking like beautician or whatever, an entertainer. I was just thinking container.
Or retainer. Like,
no, I was just thinking of containers, like that they were, you know, beauty containers.
So that business goes for about a year and a half-ish, and then in May of 2017, it's suddenly announced that Tyra Beauty is going to switch from being an MLM to being in retail stores. And that kind of indicates that as an MLM, it was not making any money. Like they couldn't get enough people to sign up. They weren't getting enough people recruiting. People were realizing very quickly that they weren't making anything. Like, so it hasn't really worked as an MLM. And I think Tyra probably has a lot of stock and inventory on her hands. And so she's like, we're just going to start selling it in stores now to get rid of what they have left. The official PR statement at the time is, over the last year, it has become increasingly clear that there are challenges with the direct sales channel that are simply not compatible with the mission and ultimately the business. And, you know, a lot of people are pissed off at the time, particularly she gets a lot of flack in the from women in the Black community, a lot of whom signed up because she convinced them to, and a lot of whom it may not have been incredibly lucrative for, but they'd sunk a lot of money into it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden she was like, oh yeah, we're not doing it that way anymore. And they were like, what the F? Like, you told me I was going to be
I don't have my millions
an
yet.
entrepreneur and a beauty-tainer, and I don't have my millions yet.
I know, I always feel so sorry for those women when they, because this happens all the time. MLMs just go, actually no, and people are like, that's my job, I thought, though. And I was really grinding to make this work. And I now have no family and friends because everybody hates me.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do now?
And the people at the top, aka Tyra, milked all the money from it she could and then was like, sorry, bye.
Yeah, I'm bored with you.
So the products actually never enter retail stores. And by 2018, the entire brand has just kind of disappeared. And so what does Tyra do next? She pivots. So the Model Land book may not have been made into a series or a movie, but Tyra still thinks it can be $1 billion something. So in 2018, Tyra does a massive press tour. Like she does all the morning shows in the US. She does a bunch of radio. And she announces that she is launching Model Land, a theme park.
Oh, I was wishing for this, but I didn't dare.
Yes. So what is it? It seems like she doesn't really know.
But also, isn't like Model Land this terrible place?
Well, not anymore. She's just taken the brand and she's like, let's run with this.
Oh
And I mean, hardly anyone read the book anyway, so who's going to know? So she does this press tour where she's announcing that she's like the theme parks, it's an idea in her mind. She's announcing that they're building it, like that it's happening. And she is like saying in all these interviews that she was inspired by Disneyland, but she wants to bring a sense of adventure to the world of modeling, like Disneyland, but models. Even there's this clip, it's so funny. She's on Hoda and the one with Hoda and Jenna Bush. And even like they're sort of directly asking her like, but what is it? Like what is it though? And she can't really explain.
She just Belle Gibson
what it is. So here is a quote that she gives. It is a place where you can live the ultimate modeling fantasy. It is for families. It is for kids. It is for teens. It is for moms. It is for dads. It's for date night. It's for date day. You can come in and work photo shoots and runways and shopping, and there's theater. There's an immersive theater experience where you're the star. You're not waiting in line to get somebody's autograph. You're the star. So she says that. And to me, I'm like, you're basically just saying, it doesn't matter who you are, what demo you are, what time it is, what you want to do. If you want to spend your money, we'll take it.
Yeah.
It's so...
Famously great business strategy is just to have no target audience. It's for everybody.
It's for everybody.
Every occasion.
And then Hoda and Jenna kind of push her again just to sort of be like, that sounds amazing, but like are they going to be rides? Like what? It's a theme park. Like what is it? And here's where she goes... I teach self-branding at Stanford Business School. She was a guest lecturer once. And she says, I always say to my students, different is better than better. You have to find what hasn't been done before. Model Land has never been done before. It is the hardest thing for me to introduce and to explain to people because it's insane. And that's her answer. And it's like, well, why are you...
It's never been done before and I plan to continue that.
And I don't know how to introduce it or explain it, yet I'm on this massive press push to
maybe
introduce and explain it.
We should have thought about that.
So, I mean, essentially, it does... When I was sort of trying to figure out what it was exactly and her answers weren't helpful, it was a little bit ahead of its time in that it seems like from what I can gather, it was kind of an Instagram kind of activation like space. You know those places now where they pop up in cities and there's all this cool stuff, like a
cool
giant ballroom and mirror rooms and you go there and you take photos. Like it was kind of like that. And like it was going to be opening in 2020. So like back then that wasn't a huge thing. Like it was quite a smart idea to be like, okay, she's linked to Top Model. You can go to this place and like be on a runway and there's like a little room set up that looks like you're on a red carpet. And it's basically just setting up Instagram shots
it just
for you,
sounds
I guess.
like something like a pop-up in a Westfield.
Kind of. And then the website at the time says that when it opens, because this is 2018, so it's not going to open for 2 years when she's doing this press push telling people, I don't really know what it is, but it's happening. And on the website, it says a general admission ticket to go in is $59 and you get access to a photo shoot personally directed by Tyra. And so I'm like, I feel like you go into a photo booth and there's a video of her going like, smize, girl. And so that's kind of what you get, and then access to the place. And then the next 2 tiers, so that's the $59 general admission ticket. The next 2 tiers of ticket are the Fantasine, and that's $549. And you get a photo shoot with hair and makeup and refreshments. And then there's the Fantasine Dream, and that's $1,500. And you get basically everything in Fantasine, but you also get a gift bag. So
that's where she was going to put all that Tyra Beauty stock. Was just dump it into gift bags.
It's scheduled to open in 2020, but COVID happens, and so it gets put on hold.
It was a massive success if it weren't for COVID.
But then it does actually eventually open in 2022. It's a lot more scaled back than what she had initially promised. There's none of those expensive tickets, and it is kind of like what I described. It is just a little place in I think it's in Santa Monica, and you go there and there's like just different interesting rooms to take photos in which you look like you're a model, and there is a expensive package where you can kind of get glamour shots done. It does not last the year, so it very quickly closes down in 2022.
I'm shocked.
And COVID as well, besides postponing her Model Land theme park, was not a great time because she launches Smize ice cream in 2020 as well at around the same time she wanted to launch the theme park. But besides some pop-up stores in the US, it doesn't really make much impact. And that's possibly because this is when all the backlash against her started. So back in COVID, people started watching old clips of Top Model on like TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff. And that's when they started seeing how messed up a lot of Top Model was, like with the benefit of hindsight and time and, you know, just how much things have changed around the way we treat, you know, women and body image and commodifying appearance and stuff. I mean, it's not like we're in a much better place, but we're in a much better place than they were back when Top Model started. So, you know, there's a lot of backlash with these clips. Probably the first clip to really go viral back in that time was one where there's this beautiful girl who has a gap in her front teeth, and Tyra's sitting at the judging table going, "Do you think you can have a CoverGirl contract with a gap in your mouth?" Because they're trying to convince her to go and get dentistry work done to close her gap. And then the hashtag Tyra is over party starts trending. And, you know, she's like, shit, I'm trying to launch my ice cream store and I've got a theme park on the way. So she freaks out and she posts on Instagram thinking this will fix everything. Been seeing the posts about the insensitivity of some past America's Next Top Model moments, and I agree with you. Looking back, those were some really off choices. Appreciate your honest feedback, and I'm sending so much love and virtual hugs. And that was all she posted.
Okay.
And that didn't really cut it because especially because footage comes out of her kind of doubling down at some awards ceremony where she's winning something, and she gives a speech saying that, like, you know, I won't let social media and some social media comments like tarnish my legacy, and people are like, I don't think you really get it. And so after that, she kind of goes to ground. Like, there's so much backlash about Top Model stuff, and the ice cream store doesn't really work in the US. Model Land, you know, opens and quickly shuts in 2022, and then she kind of goes off the radar until she randomly reappears living in Sydney, Australia in 2025, and she's going on whatever press place will have her, radio, podcasts, news, whatever. She's talking to anyone who will listen about the fact that she is opening a like permanent Smize cream store in Australia. It's in Darling Harbour, and she's very excited to let everybody know that she has invented the world's first revolutionary hot ice cream. So this, my friends, is Tyra's latest pivot. It is so random. We have talked in our like bonus content episodes, breaking news, about how I think she came to Australia because a lot of celebrities think that we're basically like another planet and nobody – it's like we're some backwards tiny like country town and we don't know about anything here. So like, she's like I can
and
go
anything
there and
that happens here doesn't
start
reach
over.
anywhere else. Just stays here.
I guess. So like, because a lot of like big time celebrities do like kind of embarrassing commercials that only air here like they do in Japan and stuff. So I think people think we know far less than we do. So that's my theory about why she moved to Australia. I don't know though. But she opens this store. It's in Darling Harbour. James and I went because she literally, like I said, she did so much press about this hot ice cream.
Yeah.
James and I went and tried it and it is like so gross. I can't describe it. It's like, it's just like, it is like ice cream. She says it's not a hot chocolate and it's not a latte. It's like, it's its own thing. It's ice cream, but it's hot. And it is just basically like ice cream, but it's not even hot. It's like it's not hot. It's like ice cream that's been left on the bench for a while.
Yeah.
Like it's melted and lukewarm and just
I haven't tried it.
It's like melted ice cream. It's like
remember I said to me it always looks and sounds like someone put ice cream in their mouth and held it there for a bit and then dribbled it into your mouth.
Yes. It kind of has that temperature and like texture to it. It's just not it's not, and like I'm like I could get around like a melted ice cream store like that, but it's not good. It's definitely just gimmicky. It is though very Instagrammable. Like you go there, it looks cool. It's like it's very gimmicky. I mean, I'm not saying this is a pattern, but it definitely reminds me of the kind of thing that you'd probably make a lot of money off for a short period of time and then skip town like the monorail man. But she got in a bit of trouble because there's a reporter for the ABC in Australia called Casey Briggs. He wrote the funniest piece in January of this year. He wrote, when Tyra Banks launched her new dessert, hot ice cream in Sydney, it raised a lot of questions. Chief among them, what is it? The supermodel called her cryptic innovation in dessert technology an ice cream that you can drink. I'm not talking about a latte, she says. I'm not talking about hot chocolate that has flavors. It's not melted gelato. It's not microwaved ice cream. It's not a latte. But something bugged me. How can you call something ice cream if it's not iced? So Casey Briggs, and I'll put the link to this article in the show notes. It's so funny. Good. He did a video as well. He wants to get to the bottom of this. So he writes, getting to the bottom of whether hot ice cream is, for legal purposes, actually ice cream, took me on a surprising journey that has led to Banks's Smize and Dream ice cream shop abandoning the ice cream labeling entirely. While Banks was happy to rule things out, she has always been coy on what hot ice cream actually is. So he goes to the New South Wales Food Authority to find out the rules around like defining something that is called ice cream if it isn't iced. And he finds out that the ice cream definition is ice cream means a sweet frozen food that is made from cream or milk products or both and other foods and is generally aerated. It is also required to contain at least 100 grams per kilogram of milk fat and 168 grams per litre of food solids. And he says Banks's product isn't frozen, so how can Smize and Dream sell it as ice cream? And he writes, I put that question late last year to the New South Wales Food Authority, which is the state regulator of the national standards. It dispatched an inspector to Smize and Dream,
so good,
who found that for the most part, Hot Mama, which is like the name of one of the hot ice cream flavors, was not being sold in store as ice cream. Quote, investigations into labeling of the Hot Mama product found no labeling reference to ice cream, although the in-store ordering application does refer to it as ice cream, a spokesperson for the New South Wales Food Authority said. The New South Wales Food Authority is liaising with the business to ensure their ordering system removes reference to ice cream where it is not included. And so then Casey Briggs follows up with a week later to see, like, have they changed the labeling? Are they still calling it hot ice cream? And the Food Authority Department says a second investigation found that the initial warning letter was received by the business but not provided to management, which makes me think like some kid was like, okay, thanks, and just chucked it in the bin. But changes have since been made and the product name has been changed to Hot Smize Cream. So that's how they're getting around it. And then the website also removed all references to hot ice cream. It's all Hot Smize Cream now. And in a statement to ABC News, Smize and Dream, a representative for the store, said it decided to transition the product name to lean further into our brand voice. Yes, it was your decision. Much of our customers' conversation centered on the experience itself and on playful references to smizing. Smize and Dream takes food labeling and marketing obligations seriously and have worked with advisors to ensure our customer-facing information is clear and accurate. And then Casey Briggs, this is like, I love the shade here. He writes, I also asked the department if the inspector tried Hot Mama themselves and if so, what they thought of it. The department, perhaps wisely, chose to ignore that question. So after this ice cream thing, it's then in, the last few weeks that it's announced that Netflix is releasing a documentary called Reality Check, America's Next Top Model, and Tyra is listed as a producer of this documentary. And I would bet you I would bet you $1 million based on this girl's ability to pivot and to lean into cross promotion. I bet you $1 million that Smize Cream is mentioned in the documentary.
Yeah.
Because I reckon she's just turning to what she knows best, cross promotion with her TV products. And she's read the room. Everybody is desperate for some kind of tell all on America's Next Top Model. And she's in the last couple years done some interviews where she's tentatively admitted oh yeah, we said some dumb stuff. The show was really of its time though. It's you have to understand it was a different era.
Yeah, and it was fine to abuse children.
Yeah, because it was a different time. Yeah. So I think she knows the only way forward is a mea culpa from her. The appetite for some kind of documentary going behind the scenes on this controversy is huge. So she's like, why don't I be the one to produce that documentary about it and also totally cross-promote my Hot Smize Cream in the documentary? I totally think that's what's going to happen.
I really hope so.
So, I mean, that's kind of where we're at now with Tyra. They're pitching in the ads and the trailer of the documentary that it is this finally a tell-all takedown of how terrible things were on America's Next Top Model. But it's produced by Tyra, so it's not going to be that. It's going to be about
spin.
Reputation rehabilitation for her and launching what I would say is what she's trying to launch right now, a bizarre business, which is a Hot Smize Cream that she's not allowed to call it ice cream.
I'm surprised she didn't do an undercover boss type episode at the store and
I'm sure she'll do if she's pivoted into her business bitch era, she probably will do that. She'll probably launch her own kind of undercover boss show, some kind of Shark Tank with Tyra. The girl, she hustles, she reads the room, she pivots, she launches different things. I looked up today, it's hard to always trust these things, but when you look up her net worth online, it pretty consistently says that she's worth about $90 million. So she's got the cash, and that's 90 million US, so that goes a lot further in Australia. I mean, she's living here, she has a kid, her kid goes to school here. Yeah, she has a kid in primary school here. She's I think we're on the cusp of whatever her next pivot and era is.
I cannot wait. Because it could be anything.
It could be she tried to launch a Model Land theme park. She did an MLM. Now she's selling hot ice cream. It could be anything.
It's going to be something to do with AI.
The woman pivots. Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah. She should do some sort of netball clinic with all her pivoting. So that's all I keep envisioning when you keep saying pivot is that Sharon Strzelecki doing the over-exaggerated pivoting in the netball games. I'm just envisioning her doing that.
I just picture the scene in Friends when they're moving the couch.
And Ross. Yeah.
Pivot! So that was just the gist of Tyra Banks's history of weird business attempts. I won't even say weird businesses because none of them, they've all been attempts that no longer exist.
Little dabbles.
But I mean, she's apparently worth $90 million. I don't know.
But is she? Why
I don't
is she
know.
still doing this? Maybe she has some really weird, like, obsession. Like, she's got, you know, rooms and rooms full of Fabergé eggs or something that she's, like, just burning through all her money on something.
Yeah,
and she has to keep on.
I mean, like we were saying before, I think maybe if the goal is, if it's not really what she's like, there's nothing that she's passionate about doing or creating. If what her goal is like making more money and starting a successful business, then you would just keep making them.
Well, maybe that's her, you know, it's nominative determination, banks.
Maybe,
so she just, money is just all her thing.
Maybe. And then, so, you know, and if money's your thing, it will never be enough really. But it seems like, you know, from the way she apparently started Top Model with a noble goal and then realized, oh, actually, this isn't about helping girls become models. This is a reality show, and the crazier we make it, by the worse we treat them, the more money we make. Like, I think for her, it's always kind of been about the bottom line from pretty early on. It's just
I have a lot of business ideas. So maybe I should meet up with Tyra and
do it,
workshop some stuff, because if she's got cash and she needs some new ideas, like, I have so many.
Just be like, I've got one, ice cream, but cold.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
like,
cold, hot ice cream.
Cold, hot ice cream.
Yeah. Or like cold, hot chips.
Yeah. Cold chips.
We're going to flip it on its head.
Hot ice cream. Yeah. But I'm telling you right now, the ice cream's not hot. It's lukewarm and it's not enjoyable. And if it was good, it would become like a cult thing. But it really was, when James and I left, we were like, that's the kind of thing you go to once and you're like, well, I tried it, and you never
She wanted
again.
to be Cronuts.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway. Oh, Tyra. So
amazing.
We're obviously all going to be watching the doco, which comes out this week, and can't wait.
Get on the watch party group chat if you're a VIG, a very important listener.
Very important listener.
On the Patreon, when good TV is happening, we are talking about it.
Yeah, we are, my friend. All right, thanks, girl.
All right.
Talk soon. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for listening to Just the Gist, a Just the Network production. Executive produced and hosted by me, Rosie Waterland. Produced and edited by James Joseph, with additional production support from JTG team Kate Lieber and Hayley Stavely, and Acast legends Guy Scott Wilson and Simon McDermott. Looking for breaking news? It drops on the Just the Gist Patreon every Tuesday, along with a whole lot of other bonus audio, video, and behind-the-scenes content, which you can access for just $1, $1 a week by clicking the link in the show notes or searching Just the Gist Podcast on Patreon. Follow Just the Gist on Instagram and TikTok at Just the Gist Podcast, and watch the video version of every episode on our YouTube channel, also at, funnily enough, Just the Gist Podcast. Follow Rosie, that's me, in all of the places at Rosie Waterland. Want to give us a suggestion? Tell Rosie to stop singing so much? Email us at hello@justthegist.com.au. Thank you, as always, for listening. Now go say something impressive at a dinner party. Bye.